Hello and welcome to another episode of Mad Science. I'm your host, Mathias Malpractice, and this week we shall be discussing my E-VilPortfolio. Now, my E-VilPortfolio is something I have to do for my E-Vil professional development class, where I have to make a website about myself to advertise myself to grad schools or jobs or I guess other mad science internships. So it's very fun. That's a lie. It's not fun. I'm going to tell you why it's not fun. I am not an E-Vil computer science major. I'm an E-Vil biology major. I don't really understand how websites work or how to make them. And the website that my E-Vil professional development teacher suggested was a website called Twix. And this is an anti-sponsorship for the website Twix, Twix. It's so inconceivably incomprehensible how you work it. It's like you move one thing 3 inches to the left and your entire site just gets completely messed up. And you're just sitting there, you're like, great. And it's not like I should be like, oh, I didn't have enough time to do it. Because I did. It was assigned before I went home for Thanksgiving or whatever. And I was like, I just don't want to do it, so I'm not going to. Which, as it so turns out, is a mentality that hasn't bit me yet. Because I thought it was due this Wednesday, but it's not. It was due on Friday. I was very happy about that because I did most of it on Tuesday. Because I thought it was due on Wednesday. So I was procrastinating on it, and I almost didn't do it in time. But my E-Vil professional development teachers, they're actually looking out for me, as so it turns out. And they made it due on Friday, and I thought it was great. It was one of the best feelings in the world. There is almost no better feeling in the world than when you think an assignment is due, and then it's just not. I'm like, yes. Now, some of the things we had to include in the E-VilPortfolio were a little bit difficult for me, because I am, in fact, still a freshman. So it's like, what classwork have you done? I'm like, I have turned a puppy evil. I don't know. There's not a lot else that I have that's super impressive yet. I guess I could talk about the Mathias 3 or my, facades with E-Vil chemistry, but that's not, once again, an E-Vil biology thing. That's a personal interest of mine, so it's not exactly viable to go on the E-VilPortfolio. And other thing is, I don't have a lot of pictures. One of the things you have to put on a site is a lot of pictures. I just don't take pictures very often because, as you can tell by the fact that I'm doing a podcast, I don't really like pictures in general. And I'm not exactly just going around in class taking pictures of everything I do. It's like I'm in class. I don't want to get yelled at for being on my phone. I want to pay attention so I can learn how to be evil better. So it's not exactly a lot of classwork on my photos. Same sort of thing with my internship. I don't exactly take a lot of photos. I don't think they really want to see photos of me killing rats and of the eyeball jars. That's not really something I've done. So I ended up just kind of showing pictures of the piranhas, being I do water change on these guys, please hire me. And it was maybe I could show the receipts for cape shopping, because that proves that I'm a financially minded person. I'm not. And that I can perform shopping tasks with ease. I can't. But I guess it's an E-Vil portfolio. I guess you can lie all you want. So it's probably fine. I just kind of slap things on there. There's also an About You section where you had to put everything that you do and all your interests and your personal goals and professional goals. It's cool. You don't really want to hear my personal and professional goals, because as it so turns out, people don't like your passion project. No one wants a giant mutagenic wasp maker in their workplace, apparently, is what I've discovered, because my professional development teachers yelled at me about including that on my website. And it's if you're going to have it about me, why can't it be about me? Not some manufactured persona I've made of myself to put out in the job market. I just want to mess stuff up. One of the other fun things you had to include was your 4-year plan, which I did in E-Vil Professional Development, but a resume, which I haven't done in E-Vil Professional Development. I don't have a resume. I don't know how you're supposed to make a resume. They just expect you to know that off the top of your head, so I just slam things together. I just kind of made a bullet-pointed list of all the evil things I've done. So I included my Mathias 3, my evil giant mutant wasp, that time I almost ripped my cousin's head off. It's it's a pretty good evil resume, I think. So I put that on my site, so anyone who wants to can download it and look at it and see how evil and worthwhile in the workplace I am. They also saw my evil 4-year plan, so they can see that I want to take like parasitology. I love parasites. Parasites I think are cool, and I think they're very good for any evil schemes anyone wants to participate in. I also included some of my research for evil medical school, which I'm not going to say here because I don't want any of you stealing my spots at the best evil medical school in the world. Do you know what that best evil medical school is? Of course not, because I know, and I'm not going to tell you because I want to get in. Jeez. They say, like, tests aren't a competition, life isn't a competition. Absolutely, yes, it is. Because you need to be the best, and if you're not the best, you're the worst and a loser and should probably simply perish. And that is my life motto. If you're not the best, you're the worst. And I don't mean worse like in a fun, evil way, campy way like I am. No, I mean like the worst. Like you are the bottom of the barrel. You should be licking tar out of crates. Worst. Now, there's one other part of the evil portfolio, which is asking a big scientific question, with the intention being we ask the question now, and then we answer it again in our senior year when we know more or whatever. So my scientific question was, what would happen if we added lasers to all the sharks in the ocean? Now, I think this is a great idea, because, for example, you can then use sharks to shoot those fishermen that try to, hunt sharks for their shark fin soup, which is one of the most despicable things, by the way. Like, I can excuse, like, being mean to children, but killing sharks? Are you kidding me? I think you're going to hell for that. So you definitely see a lot less shark fin soup on the market if all sharks had lasers. They would also just be able to just attack any boat they wanted, so I think you'd see a lot more shipwrecks and a lot more cargo damage, and overall shipping prices probably go up, terrorists would increase. I think that's a lot of good benefits, and you'd have to spend more money on planes to avoid the laser sharks, obviously. So you'd be spending more fuel and, flying all over the place instead of just shipping them overseas. I think it would also cripple the economy of several countries, particularly ones that require sea-based shipment. And eventually, I think we could install anti-aircraft missiles on the sharks too, so all the planes that are flying over, you can shoot them down with the anti-aircraft missiles that the sharks now have. And once again, there'd be no way to ship anything, and I think the only downside of that would be you can have less evil science equipment, which admittedly would not be great, but I think the evil in the world overall would be increase. It would also make sharks like mega apex predators. Like right now, orcas eat sharks and kill them a lot, but I think if sharks had lasers, the orcas would know to stay away. I think we could also have like rival shark gangs that have like shootouts occasionally. I think that'd be awesome. I think they would get more nutrients from the fish by like shooting with the laser, like cook them, and then eating like our fully fried out fish. You know what? Fried fish, one of the best things in the world. I eat fried fish for the rest of my life. We actually have a fried fish down here in Crimson University, very popular. It's called ula fish. I eat there all the time. I spend half my dining dollars on it. And is it morally wrong? Yeah, they do support some homophobic organizations, but it's really good fried fish. You don't understand, guys. Like I'll support a boycott any day. I love it when companies lose money for doing evil things, because then I can do the evil things that they're doing. No one can boycott me. But like, oh my god, ula fish is so good. You don't understand. Also, they have decent milkshakes, which is surprising because you wouldn't think fish and milkshakes would go together, but it's real good milkshakes too. And maybe if we install lasers on sharks, they'll invent their own ula fish, and because they're sharks and they see fish all the time, they eat fish all the time, I think maybe they could even develop better fish recipes than ula fish, and then maybe they can spend all that money that they use on better lasers, so I don't have to install the anti-aircraft missiles on them. Like, I think this is a great plan. I'm gonna this. I know what I'm doing. This is great. I might have to do this project later. But that was all I wrote for that scientific question, and I think I have a pretty good set. At least I thought I did until I got a 6 out of 10. So I might be failing that class, and I might have to blackmail the teacher to give me a better grade. But that's besides the point. Let's talk football. So this past weekend we had the game of the season. It's called the Iron Fist, Crimson University versus the University of Skygold. And we were doing really well the whole game, which is surprising because our football team kind of sucks. And by kind of sucks, I mean really sucks. And if you had watched our season, you would know this. Everyone knows that our football players aren't good. It's just our stadium's super loud and tough to play in. So that's why we win, if anything. But it was really great because the Iron Fist was in our stadium this year. So I was like, ooh, maybe we actually have a chance. And then once again, we were winning for most of it. And then 40 seconds on the clock. I don't understand football at all, but I can understand 40 seconds on the clock and we're winning by a touchdown. That's pretty good. And then the camera's on the line of scrimmage or whatever. I don't actually know what it's called. I think it's line of scrimmage where all the big sweaty men are beating each other up and it's kind of hot. So they were fighting and then the camera's right there and then you just see the ball go. The camera's following the ball. I'm like, what? Did he just throw it out of the field or to his girlfriend or something? And then someone in the end zone just caught it. You're like, what? That was a 56-yard throw. How did you do what? And I have never heard a stadium go from cheering at a bajillion decibels to dead silent because what? And I'd actually snuck in one of my evil weapons into the stadium this time. And if I had known that was going to happen, I would have shot that ball midair. But I was just watching it go. I was for certain that University of Skygold, I don't know what's called, a back quartermaster? Quarterback, that's what they're called. I thought that quarterback was just thrown at the audience for who knows what reason. Probably because he's stupid, because he's University of Skygold. But I was like, if I was on that field, I would have won the game for Crimson. You put me in the field, I would have shanked so many people. It would have been great. I think it would have been a lot more entertaining, too. I would have, once again, I'm not a football guy, but I could appreciate a good win. But I was like, what? I was mad about that. It was something that I really wanted going into finals week, because this week just ended. I'm recording this on Friday. So next week's just my last week class, and then I have my finals week. So it would have been really, really nice to have a good win for finals week, but you win some, you lose a few hundred. That's Crimson University for y'all. But, even if you're stuck at football, Crimson University is a bajillion times better than University of Skygold in one thing, and that's that we actually have an ice skating rink. That's a lie, we don't have an ice skating rink, but our university program convention or whatever it's called, they made an ice rink. I mean, it was a bad ice rink, it was just kind of oiled tiles, but then one of the evil physics students, I think it was an evil physics student, made a freeze ray and just froze the entire thing so we could actually ice skate. I was like, wow. Sometimes you can use the power of evil for good, and I sure had a lot of fun pushing down other students onto the ice. We were also watching the Grinch movie, the good one, the Illumination one, of course, and you really get to empathize with the evil person in that movie. It's one of the few movies where you're like, wow, that evil person, he's evil, and I love and respect him. Have I watched the second half of the movie? No, but I'm sure, he stays evil and campy and cool to the end of the movie, right? No character development at all, because my heart is also two sizes too small, and I have mad respect for the Grinch for that. But yeah, that's pretty much all that's happened this week. I'm still planning for second semester. I'm still planning to take and do well on all my evil finals, but I think that's all I really have to say for the week, so I hope all you have an amazing evil week, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye!